What's going on, man? Dorkula here. I'm having my nightcap. Yes, I am drinking. Uh, these are cheap and they don't fuck my stomach up. But I realize alcohol is a downer. So I have to explain this for anybody who knew the old me that doesn't know me today. People who see me back then, who knew the person that died, um, would be like, "Oh yeah, see, he's drinking again." But no, I have a beer a night. Except for last night, I didn't have a beer, no. I had an Arizona hard tea because it was Thanksgiving. I treated myself. I'm sophisticated. Arizona hard iced tea it is with my chicken dinner. So, I'm sorry, I'm just loving life. It's just, and that's another reason because I realize beer is a downer. It brings you, instead of bringing you down to like get mentally, once you get your shit handled, what it does is it basically, I use it to go to bed. I'm about to go to sleep after this. Like usually I drink this beer and give me about 30 minutes after that and I'm done. I can't help it. I'm going to bed. And so that's what I do. That's my routine. And it works for me. So moving on to the story I'm saying here, I was meditating and it's funny because I have this, like I want to come out and say these videos. I meditate several times a day. As a matter of fact, there's times where I can do it without like going all home and stuff like that. Like I can get in my calm and meditate like while I'm walking around. Like, you know, I can be in two places at once. It's another reason why I got to drink the beer because the beer grounds me down to here and I can go to sleep. uh, I kind of understand why Alan Watts drank himself to death, but I'm not going there. No, those days are behind me. See, the old me used to drink a lot because the old me was running from a lot of demons. Um, my I talked about what I witnessed and I talked about how I understood, but now it's time for me to talk about myself. And so like I said, I meditated and it was like, no, man, you need to get out here and just hit the camera and just do it, and just you'll know what to say. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Um, so basically, for me, to give you a little background on myself, my worst mornings in the morning when I'd wake up, that was my worst part of the day. I was at the lowest of the low. I'm not saying I thought about it, but I'm saying if I was going to do something stupid like delete myself, it would have been done early in the morning because I started at the lowest of the low and then I fought my way up to get above water. And it was like constantly going low and high, low and high. And, I just, I lived through a mother that used to tell me in the mornings, like I was like driving me to school and stuff, like I was quiet and stuff. She would tell me things like she should have gone ahead and had the abortion. I was a mistake and you don't belong here and that's why nobody likes you. And so I grew up like I said, and my first memories are being locked in a cabinet. My mother was horrible to me. She didn't treat my siblings the same way. It was just to me she was horrible. And it stuck. It really did stick. Uh, I think I would have a conversation. I wrote my mother off, but I would have a conversation with her if she would come to like one of my therapy sessions, even if it was on Zoom. We can set that up. Don't even record it. Just it's private. That's therapy is private, dude. That's private shit. That should be your safe space. Just it's your bridal chamber. If you know anything about Gnosticism. And another thing about Gnostics teaching about archons and all that other stuff, but they also taught it in a way to where it's like, yo, these stories aren't real. If you really start placing these things out there, it's a metaphor for what's going on in your mind to wake you up to, hey, there is something else. You are not these bad thoughts. Matter of fact, if you take a step back, you don't even know where the hell they're coming from. You have to find out, like, yo, like I was okay, for me, talking about myself, so I would have these thoughts all the time. So that's why in the mornings I was always a fucking pill to deal with, and that's putting it mild. I really took it out on Caroline a lot in the morning. Um, And it was really a reflection of how I felt about myself. And so, but the problem is there was nothing physical, but I would get like upset at her every morning, dude. And I would drive to work every day going, fuck, dude, why did I do that? Like, because I worked at a job, I'd be like, what if I don't come home today and I can't make this right? You know, I would go to work thinking that. And it was just a cycle I got caught in. And nothing was good enough. And then I thought like, well, no. And then see, when you start feeling like that, and then you had a mother that literally, I think she had multiple personalities, and one of them wanted me dead. So I have a homie, Looney. He can attest to that. I think he's met my mother, that side of her. Anyways, so now here's the thing. Y'all are hearing a tone in these stories, and y'all are having an emotion in this while I'm telling you this. But if you noticed, I am not having any emotion. It is not affecting me. I'm just telling them they're just stories. Right now, they're stories. Yeah, I lived through them, but I'm not even remembering them the way that they happened. If you want to think about it, your memory doesn't work that way. Every cell in your body regenerates every 3 years, so I am literally not even the same person I was back then. Come on, man. It doesn't, if you want to go back and watch again, yeah, I'm not getting no tone talking about this, but I need to talk about myself since I talked about somebody else and what I witnessed. And that's kind of like what happened, dude. Cause, when it came there, I kind of started feeling like, all right, this self-doubt and all this stuff builds up. And then you start thinking that this person is against you. Nah, they're too kind to you. Why would they be sticking around this long? Like, there ain't no way. They're up to something. And that's because I had the mother that I had. You know, everything she gave me always had strings attached to it, you know, or she would ruin the moment in some way. So I was believing that. Once you get that self-doubt, like I said, that's how I know. And this is why I say this. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. It's like a grain of sand, okay? Even make it like a grain of salt. And it drops in the back of your psyche, in the back of your head where you don't even know it's there. And every day you wake up, and every day I would wake up, and my mother would be in my ear, telling me I should have been aborted, telling me I wasn't good enough and all that shit. And I had to build myself up. But I'm hearing that. I'm saying that to myself. Boom, grain of sand, grain of sand. Eventually, as you get older, that grain of sand turns into a fucking mountain. Now you have a monster on your hands, and it wants to be heard. It feels that like you need justice because you didn't get justice. So fuck it. We're gonna make our shit. We're gonna make people fucking respect us. You know what I mean? It's a stupid mindset to be in, but it's what you get into when you have all that self-doubt. And so that's where I was back then. God, dude, I really, honestly, the person I am today, I know why they're not talking to me. I totally get it, and I ain't pushing the issue or flexing. You know, the door's open. Anybody can talk to me that wants to. Just send me a message. That's all you got to do, or call me. Maybe better to text me or message me because I don't know. I'd send a respond better to that than like a phone call. But yeah, I'm turning into one of those people. Just text me, gosh. Like phone calls. So 2000s. So, what happened with me was, and that's how I started seeing my ex. I started seeing her as somebody that was really trying to fucking hurt me. Somebody that if I stayed with her, she was just eventually gonna fucking put a knife in my back. And that's ridiculous, dude. That guy, like I said, I understand why they don't talk to me. Because if you go looking back, even I hate that dude, man. Like, that guy was a fucking moron. He didn't see what he had. Dude, he was so blind. He was letting the men that abused him, that his mother allowed to abuse him, rule the rest of his fucking life. Never dealt with that shit. I learned to what I was taught by my grandparents, or grin and bear it, and put it in a mason jar. Well, here's the problem. You can't do that because that thing wants to come out and fucking talk. And it has shit to say and it will take it out on your loved ones. The best thing to do is to sit there, and when you start, you're in a good mood, man. You're chilling. All of a sudden, some shit happens, you get pissed. No, you don't. You feel the sensation coming on of getting pissed. Instead of what I do now is I hear it out. Yo, literally, time pauses and this shit happens in my head in a fucking. Time is irrelevant. I get what they're saying. Boom. Here it is. You're pissed off. Hang on. We come to the table. I already made a deal with them. You come to the table. You ain't going to fucking run this body. You come to the table. We talk. Okay. I hear what you're saying. And you know what? You're right. We didn't get justice for that shit. But this person ain't got nothing to do with it. You're out of order. I don't need you. Go away. And they do. And then I fucking continue on in my day with a smile on my face. Dude, it's amazing living like this. You do really manifest your own reality. It's the way it is. And like I said, the Gnostics taught it in a way to where it was like this isn't actually happening, but you can use these stories as parables to heal your mind and to actually see what is actually going on. Just saying. So, yeah, I owe my kids and I owe my wife a big apology, dude. But they don't. It's not even. I'll never be able to apologize, dude. That was years of that shit, dude. Like I was drinking every day to try to run from it. You know what I mean? Like when you got this kind of monster chasing your back, it's you know. And that wasn't the first time I was locked up. I was locked up again, and then I was locked up again. 3 times she locked me up. So that's one way me and my ex bonded, because those demons saw another demon that understood. And she might not want to get it out in the open, but you know what? This isn't her video and this isn't her story. This is mine, and I lived it and I had to live with your ass, so I get to tell it. And through my eyes. That's my right, dog. So that's basically what happened, dude, is we trauma bonded, dude. Even my therapist said that was he said the words, I was already thinking it. And the thing is she couldn't believe that this shit was real. So when shit started getting real and I started pulling through, she was like, she didn't, went back in that nah, and then eventually turned it into fucking self-sabotage. And that's unfortunate. That means that her demons are really, really got her. You got to sit down and face them, dude. Like, you got to be strong enough. Now, and you might get your ass kicked. They may tell you something that may make you remember shit that like is gonna make you fucking want to scream. One of them silent screams. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. Like, you're gonna fucking do one of them quiet ass fucking screams, and then you're gonna realize, nah, you and that fucking thing came to an understanding. You still weathered the storm. There's nothing lost, because guess what? It ain't happening today. Nothing was gained. Well, yeah, it was. Peace was gained. You come to peace in your head. So, if anybody is going through this, because I feel like this is an epidemic going around, because we have too many distractions. And I can prove it to you that you really aren't. You're basically the observer in your head. You're not the thoughts and everything. You're not the sum of all this. How am I making my hand move? But you do it and you don't even think about it. But you pick up your hand and your fingers move. But you're not saying fingers move, hand move. It just does it. That's how you actually move through everything. That's how you move through your mind. So, man, I forgot what I was going to say. But, yeah, I just, what happened, what I did was I basically took that scared little boy that was scared of his mom and scared of getting of the men she'd bring around me, and scared of, you know, safe in the cabinet. Because believe it or not, when you're locked up, yeah, you don't know when the door's gonna open again. You don't know what day it is and shit, but the monster's on the outside. So that was a safe space, and that was in my head. I found my strength when I had that thought about Jesus can't forgive you until you forgive yourself. Then the Gnostic teaching started. Then all of a sudden, psychology made sense. Carl Jung started making sense. And I found out about the Gnostics, and that's how I got all into this shit. And it's been it's an amazing life ever since then. It has. It really has. But that's what I was going at. I said I can prove it to you guys, that you're just the observer in your head, but there's something else in there throwing shit at you. And I can show this to you because if you close your eyes, I'm going to tell y'all, do this. Just do it. All right? If you don't want to do it, I don't care. Close your eyes. I'm going to count to 10. 1, 2, take your deep breaths. Just be relaxed. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No thoughts going through your head. Just relaxed. 9, 10. Now slowly open your eyes. What do you see in front of you? Don't say it out loud. Don't even do anything. Just look. All right, close your eyes back. Now open them back up. See, the thing is, I bet in the back of your head, some of y'all said lighter, some of y'all said red, some of y'all said big. Y'all had a bunch of things going on, but your mind was completely blank. Where did those thoughts come from? What's naming your shit? I'm just saying, dude, psychology, the human psyche is actually like, we're the only creatures on this planet that have two things none of the other creatures on this planet do. For one, we do produce something that goes out into the environment. Not saying it's good for it, but we're the only creatures on the planet that produce plastic. No other creature on the planet does that. And number two, we're the only one with this kind of psyche, this kind of intelligence. Not saying other animals don't have intelligence on par and don't have souls, but they don't have that spark, if you get what I'm saying. So, yeah, I'm sitting out here with the wind chimes. It's getting all drizzly. I'm getting all cold, but I want to smoke a cigarette before I go in because that's what happens when I drink. Hey, I choose me habits and I am what I am, dude. It's amazing that basically that is one thing you learn in Gnosticism. It's one thing you learn in therapy is I am what I am. Once you take a step back and take a look at it, you get quiet in your mind, that's all that's left is you. Think about that. Hey, y'all have a good night, man. I'm sorry. I just had to ramp. This is just my meditation I did, and I just was like, bro, I got to talk about this. And this meditation took like maybe 5 minutes. I did it. The video was longer than the fucking meditation. But I hope this helps somebody, dude. Anyways, y'all be good. Love y'all.